Let's get to our 49ers insider for the San Jose Mercury News, East Bay Times, Bay Area News Group. Cam Inman joining us here on 95.7 The Game. What's going on, Cam?
Happy holidays. I just popped out of the 49er locker room, and the gift that are in everybody's locker are some Sonos speakers from Trey Lance, and then the linemen are very excited that he also gifted them custom suits that they're currently getting fitted for.
Wow.
So, which prompted my question, kind of a smart-ass one to them, was, well, what did Brock Purdy get you? And good old center Jake Brendel replied, wins. I said, oh, very good.
That's wow. I love it.
Great answer there for sure, Cam. Let's. What is your sense of, the Niners win the division? This is a longer stretch between games. They were able to get it done Thursday. They're playing on Saturday, which is a little bit different, but maybe less different for them, obviously, with the Thursday game than the rest of the league and Washington included, who played on Sunday night. But is there any sense of concern over a possible letdown for the Niners, knowing that the division is in hand and 2 versus 3 is going to be determined as far as seed over the last 3 weeks? There's nothing really that they can do other than hold serve for this week. Could there be a little bit of a letdown, I guess, on Saturday? Is there concern there, Cam?
I think the question that we've kind of been asking them is, would there be an intentional letdown? Would they kind of relax a little bit, like you said, knowing that they're at least the 3rd seed, and they could win out and still not get up to the 2nd, but they could. So every indication I'm getting is these guys are all, nothing's changed whatsoever, that they're going all out to win. And kind of another indication of that is that they're going to activate Javon Kinlaw so he can play Saturday for the first time, since he had to take the last 3 months off with knee issues. So he's only practiced 2 days, but Shanahan sounded confident enough that they're going to activate Kinlaw, which is helpful because Washington has a pretty strong running game. And, they also, it's kind of a sneaky team. Like I'm a little bit more wary of Washington than I was even going up to Seattle with the Niners, even though how bad they've been. I think Washington, they're fighting for playoff survival, and they got a pretty strong defense. They got a great coach in Ron Rivera. And then as much as they run the ball pretty well, they've got 3 pretty solid wide receivers if Taylor Heineke can get enough time to get the ball downfield to him.
Cam, always a pleasure. Happy holidays. I got to say this to you, man. It's football for me 24/7. I'm always excited about a game. But again, I'm more excited to see another 4 quarters of Brock Purdy. And you and JD talked about it. Washington has a pretty damn good defense. Yeah. Has anything changed since the last time we spoke about your assessment of Brock Purdy, like where this thing is going and what he's actually doing?
It's becoming the Purdy phenomenon, I'd say, because he's done no wrong. He's just won games, and the nature of him doing it and playing through an injury we can't really see, but we can kind of feel, through him, and just he's battling and he's not able to just sling it like crazy, but it doesn't impact him moving in the pocket, and he knows he's got to kind of wiggle his way out of jams. And that one play in Seattle where he goes down in the backfield and then gets back up and throws a pass, it's just like teammates see that. It's like there's so much beyond the measurables of a quarterback who might be a tall 6'4" gunslinger as opposed to a 6-foot last draft pick who is fighting for everybody's respect and knowing his place in the hierarchy here, that he wants to get the ball into the playmaker's hands and run an efficient offense, which he's doing so well because it's just like Shanahan he knows what to do. And I don't want to say with a limited quarterback because that's unfair to Brock, but he's not asking Brock to, do a zone read or do the option like Trey Lance would, right? He's asking him to run an offense that's similar to what Jimmy Garoppolo ran, and he's fitting it to a T. And so he's won 3 games, right, essentially, coming in for Garoppolo against Miami, and then the last 2 starts, and it's like, well, when does it end? When does the Purdy phenomenon end? And I don't have an answer for that because I can see them winning out this regular season, and then you get in the playoffs, and who knows what goes on in the playoffs. There will be tougher defenses, sure. higher stakes, more pressure. But I don't sense that the pressure gets to Brock at all. He just kind of, and it's not a, I guess you could say swagger, because it's not saying it's like bravado or something. It's a long-winded answer, but the guy it's a lot of fun to watch, isn't it? For a third quarterback in a playoff run, it's amazing.
Cam, I'm going to give you the 4 possible first-round opponents. I want you to rank them in order of teams that would give the 49ers the most problems to the teams that would give them the least amount of problems. All right, here we go. New York Giants, Washington, Green Bay, and Detroit. Rank them.
From the toughest to the easiest, or easiest to the toughest?
Easiest to toughest.
I think Green Bay, honestly, would be the easiest. And it's like, just because I know they have Aaron Rodgers' number, I just don't think it's a very good team. And I think Detroit is very hot, but I'm still having a hard. It's like they're doing really well, and if they make the playoffs, I don't know if I buy into them then either. And then what are we left with? The Giants and who else?
Giants and Washington.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like, then I would say the Giants would be next. I say Washington would be the toughest. I mean, this could all change in about 48 hours or whenever they play them, because maybe Washington's not as good as I think they are. But I think Washington's a strong team. I'm not sold on the Giants. I'm not really sold on that many teams in the NFC. I mean, I guess I am sold on the Philadelphia Eagles defense and some of their playmakers on offense, and that's something that would come to terms in the fourth week of January, I guess, is when the NFC Championship game would be. So, but I think this has been the case all season. JD, is like, we look at the NFC and think it's wide open, and it's like, well, why not the 49ers? And that's proven true, even though they're on their third quarterback.
Cam, it's such a violent sport, man. And I said this to you months ago, but I just think of Javon Kinlaw and the specimen that he is, but yet there's something in his body that keeps him from on the field. I'm excited to see when he gets back. When do you expect him back? And then also, what have you heard from Debo?
Well, Debo was just rolling dice in the locker room and having a lot of fun.
Little Joe back though.
He's loud in there doing it. He's pretty fun. You know what? He's done that a lot this season. But he was working on the side on the field in practice, which is a great sign considering 2 weeks ago he was getting carted off. So I think he avoided major injury. I don't think they play him until the playoffs unless he just wants to shake off some rust, which I don't think he would. I think they'd wait till the playoffs. But it's trending really well with him. Kinlaw is I just talked to him at his locker, and he is he's raring to go. And Shanahan said he's going to play Saturday, and that the knee responded well in practices this week, just as it has over the last couple of weeks as he's been rehabbing. So Kinlaw's got this amazing confidence in his strength, and just think he can manhandle anybody. And it's exactly the mentality you want out of a big giant on the interior, especially a guy coming back. I mean, you don't want him, favoring the knee or anything. He seems ready to contribute, but he's not like saying, I'm going to come in there and dominate and be better than anybody on the line. He says, I'm just going to come in and contribute however they want me to. And he's excited. I mean, he's been worked 3 months to get this knee right again after ACL surgery last November, a year and a half, or 13 months ago. So it'll be nice to see him, and I think that he's going to be necessary going forward, because they've lost some depth there on the interior with Kevin Givens and Hassan Ridgeway getting hurt in the last month.
Cam, great stuff. Enjoy a rare Friday off, and we'll talk to you. Well, I'll talk to you on Saturday. We'll talk to you next week on the show.
Okay. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, guys. Thanks. Be well.
You too.